Now, often on this show, I talk about how much of the media likes to get involved in the narrative, good guy, bad issue, bad issue, rather than the news of what happened today. And there was a perfect example of that, as early voting has now begun around the country. No update from the AEC about how many people have voted early. If I get it, I'll give it to you in the next hour. And yes, I will talk about the purple posters that are oh so confusing for people who don't pay as much attention to politics as you do. Remember the yes posters that are made as basically the exact same font as the purple and white of the AEC, making it look like the yes position is the somewhat official position of the AEC, when of course that's not the case. Repeat, I'll get to that in a moment or two's time. As you know, the polls say that the referendum most likely to fail. And I have said that things are going to get a little bit tighter, and I think that things might start to tick up a little bit for yes, but still it's on the trajectory right now towards no. However, I don't know what's happening in Tas, don't know what's happening in South Australia. I say that every night because no one knows about those two things. However, there was a new poll that was released today, published in The Guardian, and it showed ever so slight improvement for yes. No still winning, no still the most likely result in less than 2 weeks' time. But the media pushed the narrative of the side that clearly they want.
New polling from Essential has recorded the first uptick in support for yes in months.
Yes is gaining momentum in the polls. Some doctors convinced healthy Indigenous communities are at the heart of constitutional change.
Now, gaining momentum in the polls, you would have seen this story, it was around all day today, that of course the Prime Minister said that things were getting better, things were getting closer because of the poll that I'm about to show you. Here he was making that point today, I think in Tasmania.
I'm very hopeful, and there's a positive sign today with the Essential poll that is heading in the right direction. It is certainly winnable.
Now, I understand that when you are on the side that looks like you're not going to get what you want, you will grab at any straw. But I'm now going to get into some detail to explain to you why the straw that they are grasping for is not a trend at all. I repeat, this poll is regularly published every couple of weeks in the Turnbull Times, the Guardian for everyone else. It is done by an organisation that generally does pretty good polling, at least on issues, and news polls the gold standard, but Essential research are the people who are responsible. Essential, by the way, have already flagged that they have a relationship with the Yes campaign, so are they playing for the narrative, which is Yes is coming back to those last-minute voters, or is there an actual change? Well, unlike many polling companies, and I've got to say I'm thankful for this, although when I say this, they're probably going to throw it behind a paywall, but Essential actually releases on the same day as they write a sort of gobbledygook version of the poll in The Guardian, they actually put out the raw data. You can find it on their website. You can go through all the different tabs. They're there each and every day that the poll comes out. It's the Essential Research Company, and again, this is what their website looks like. And yes, they will be able to turn around and show you here that there is a trend, and the trend, as you can see here, is that no, which started off at 47 on the blue line, is now at 43. No, which was 43, is now at 49. But how did they get to this particular number that things were going good since their last poll a couple of weeks ago? Well, again, let's dig deeper into their own data that's freely available on their website. You can see 3 lines here, New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. The one that has the dip but then a big jump is Queensland. In fact, if you have a look at this in particular, we are supposed to believe that there has been a 10-point surge for yes in Queensland since they did their last poll and broke it down state by state a couple of weeks ago. Now, any person on any side of politics, and even minor parties and teals, will tell you 10-point turnarounds do not happen unless there is some sort of cataclysmic news event, like a whole bunch of ministers had to resign, or there's a particular scandal. None of that is in play. Instead, you should know, and have a look at that Queensland number again, how they got, I think, to the extra 10% surge, which then fed into the overall uptick and momentum going the way of yes. Do you know just how many people they ask in Queensland? Well, again, according to their own methodology, on their website, I'm telling you, they'll hide it all from today, 230 people. That's how many people they asked. So, potentially, maybe they asked 10 more people in the southeast rather than in the regions. But again, missing from all of the analysis today is the hard yes and the hard no. Now, again, in New South Wales, 50% currently sitting at no, with 44% sitting there with a hard no. 33% in Victoria, making that, 42% of no currently in Victoria. That's why I think Victoria is actually going to end up going yes, but we'll wait, watch and see. But again, even with the 10-point magical turnaround in the tabs of 230 people being asked in Queensland, well, again, 47% are hard no's. 56% are sitting in no right now. Now, that's the reality. Also, when you actually have a look at demographics, remember, more people over the age of 50 in the Australian electoral roll mix than under the age of 50. You can see that yes is very strong in 18 to 34, but no is sitting much stronger at 47% in 35 to 54 and at 68% in 55 plus. So it still remains as it does. Now, interestingly, for yes to somehow flip 35 to 54 to match 18 to 34, meaning that the majority of people under the age of 50 would be yes, the majority of people over the age of 50 would be no, and yes would be able to win, the yes case needs to get 80% of the current undecideds according to this poll.